All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shirat Baruch Hashem. Another beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. What a schus we have. And beautiful Nate's Minyan today. We had our Kayan that gave us a blessing today. It was wonderful.
We had the right words today.
Oh, Hashem. See that? Yeah, Hashem grants us our words, right? We know, right? Yeah. Hashem grants us our words.
It may have been this little card.
That helps you
that
too.
Hashem sent me.
Yeah, that's good too. Whatever you need to help your avodas Hashem. No, it's all good. It's all good. Again, we learn also always for the well-being of our soldiers on the front lines, wherever they're found in the country, doing the great work that they're doing for us, keeping us all protected. And their work on trying to locate the captives, and they should be able to locate them, and they should be safe and bring them back all safely. Ezrat Hashem. Right, and we're working on this beautiful project, the Super Savta Packers. Super Savta Packers, and it's a bunch of beautiful, wonderful savtas, grandmothers in the neighborhood. They get together on a daily basis, and they pack up beautiful packages for the chayalim. And Yossi went yesterday with Reb Shlomo and with Dov Kram and a couple of other guys.
Yeah, it's about 25 of us.
25, wow, okay. And then they were giving out some of these packages of the super savtas.
Yeah, we went to the Eri, to the front, where there are hundreds of soldiers physically, with your own eyes, coming in and out of Gaza. That's the road that they go into.
Right.
And so we want to go, at the very least, just give them feedback by saying hi, but you never go empty-handed. And so we did that by handing out all these packages that...
Super softest
packages that were prepared. There was beef jerky, there was chips, there was I think it was some Mentos, mabucha, really, and with a beautiful little sticker also.
And it gives
pink sticker. I'll tell you something interesting is that not only did they appreciate having people come and first saying hello, but yet giving them these something here, like a shtickle from home.
From a savta. That's the thing. When they see
the yellow sticker, I'll tell you something. One of the guys saw the yellow sticker. I saw him get a little bit softer, and he goes, Savta. And they go, Savta's Packers, and they were like, one guy mentioned his Savta.
And it brings warmth to them, right? It gives them a warm feeling.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I can tell you, I saw it.
There's a lot of organizations out there doing amazing work. When they see that word Savta, it brings out a warmth in them. Gives them
it's the that do it. So it's packed with love.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, shkoyach. Okay. So let's learn now.
We need all the help we can get to keep that going, because there's a lot of packages that were handed out and a lot more that
they need every day. We need hundreds of them every day over there alone.
That's right.
Hundreds a day, every day over there alone, right? In that area. But what about up north? We have thousands more soldiers up there, right? Yeah. Unbelievable. Okay, so the work is, we have a lot of work out there, and Mitzvah Hashem, everyone will be mishtatev, and we'll be able to be successful. Okay, let's learn now, okay? So we're in Likutey Halachos, and we're in Hilchas Birchas HaShachar, Halacha Hey, and today we're up to Yud Aleph, okay? So we're going to we discussed many beautiful ideas yesterday, and every day we do. Rav Nosson really gives us beautiful lessons every day, right? It's amazing. And we learned the idea yesterday that really when we make our bracha, when we make the bracha, Shabacha Banu Mikolo Amim V'Nosan Lanu Es Torah Asoi, right? We should really feel that we really feel that we're part of something special. We're really part of something special, because the world knows we're part of something special. They don't like that. So let us realize how special we are and what we have, how special it is when we make our brachas every single day. And we're doing it anyway. And that's all Rav Nosson, he taught us in the beginning of Likutey Halachos. I'm not going to tell you to take on new things. I'm not going to tell you, you need to do, more stringencies. No. We're just going to go through Likutey Halachos, show you the things that you're normally doing anyhow, let me show you how beautiful they really are, and let them be more meaningful. Right? And that's really what Reb Nosson does all through Likutey Halachos. He goes through each thing that we're normally doing, right? Like we learned Hilchos Tzitzis and Tefillin, right? Now we're learning brachas, and we do this every day. So just to have an appreciation for what we're doing. And not just to do things by rote, but to really appreciate what we're doing. Okay? So here we go. Let's see today.
The Breslov Siddur also does that for me.
Yeah, of course. Anything published by BRI is wonderful.
Because they add in things that have you really go in the right direction.
But those are things from Reb Nosson.
Yeah.
That those are teachings from Reb Nosson. They place in the siddur.
Yeah.
Wonderful, excellent. There's we have many beautiful tools out there today to engage in. Okay, now so Yud Aleph. So we were saying yesterday we came out of Mitzrayim, right? We came out of Mitzrayim, and Hashem chose us to be the nation. When we were in Egypt, remember, He chose us while we were in Egypt to be the nation, but we became the Jewish people at Ma'amad Har Sinai, right? We became the nation at the receiving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. That's when we became the nation. In other words, we were chosen while we were in Egypt, and we became a nation on the acceptance of the Torah when we accepted the Torah on Har Sinai. Now he says here, Aval b'shas yetzias Mitzrayim kodim kabbalas haTorah lehaya efsher la'aleis l'sham. We couldn't come up to this place, this high place of Ratzon that's connected to the 13 points of the beard, that's connected to all major things. We couldn't come to that place yet. Kamuvim mikavonos, as it says in Pri Eitz Chaim, right? And why? Because we were involved in the Zumas Mitzrayim. We were so steeped in the impurities of Egypt. When we say impurities, we mean their idol worship. Right? We know that the Jewish people didn't do anything immoral while we were in Egypt. Right? We were protected by Yosef HaTzadik. Because of what he did, he protected us. And we were protected in Egypt. Chazal tell us that we didn't do anything immoral. We were pure as far as that goes. But as far as the idol worship, we were similar to the Egyptians. Right? We were similar to them. Right? Like we said, even Hashem was dealing with the opposition from the angels at the splitting before the splitting of the sea, because the Malachim was saying, Halalu v'halalu, right? Both these and those, they are both serving idols. So why are you saving them and drowning them? Remember we learned that, right? All right. Okay. So we were steeped in this impurity of Mitzrayim, right? We were steeped in there. It was nechaz. It was grabbing onto us. It was part of us. And therefore the geula was very, very hard. This was very, very, very difficult because we were so steeped in the impurity and so steeped in the idol worship, so steeped, it was a difficult thing to do. Hashem gave us something that was Shaloi Seder. We learned a lot about Seder, Shaloi Seder, right? In other words, we have a Seder Advar, right? We have a Seder, things go in a certain order, but then there's something Shaloi Seder. Right, so usually, like you say, there is not a good thing. Here, it was a great thing. Hashem gave us something that we would have much later, out of order, and He gave it to us on that night to get us out of Mitzrayim, to give us that ability to be able to come out of Mitzrayim. So here you see, like you say, there was a great thing. You see, it was a great thing that Hashem gave us. Normally, we want everything to be beseder, right? We want everything to be in order. Everything should be run smoothly. But here, it was Shaloi Seder because we weren't worthy of it. But Hashem gave it to us anyway. We get that on Leil Shimurim as well. You know that, right? On Leil Shimurim, the night of Pesach, Hashem gives us a great ha'ara, also Shaloi Seder. Also Shaloi Seder. Because again, when we go through the Sfira and we get the Shruas, we're on a different level than we are when we sit down at the Seder on the front, on Pesach night, right? We're different people. We prepared. We did a lot of things, right? We hope we did, right? We're supposed to. Right? We're supposed to prepare ourselves, rectify ourselves during each day of the Sfira, counting up to that great day of Kabbalah Satayr, Ma'amir Hasinai, right? Kabbalah Satayr. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us something Shaloi Keseder, right? He gave us something Shaloi Keseder. He gave us a preview. He gave us a taste of something that we weren't worthy of at that moment, but He gave it to us anyway. And we get that every year, because we know every year, every time there's an event on the calendar, that same thing is happening again and again. It's not we're remembering it. We're experiencing it again at that moment. It's happening again. And we're remembering, but we're also experiencing. So we also experience on Leil Shimurim, on the night of the Seder, we experience this idea of Shaloi Keseder. Everyone get that idea? Do we understand it? Any questions on that? Any comment? No? It's an amazing concept. Shaloi Keseder. Usually we say, like you say, there's a bad. We want things to be in order. Everything should go in, No, but here HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us something amazing.
What's not in order?
Huh? We weren't ready for the level that we were on. We didn't achieve that level yet. But Hashem granted us the level even though we didn't achieve it. Right?
Aren't we in general in Locus Seder?
What do you mean?
Most of our lives are Locus Seder.
Don't we always say we want
either chaos or...
Don't we say here in Israel, Beseder?
I know, that's how you know it's a problem. So, we're always getting something that we don't deserve. It's always an undeserved gift.
Okay, so it was the first time that we got it over here.
Right, that's right.
Right, we always ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's a beautiful tefillah, you can ask Hashem like this. In your Izbaidus, you can say like this, Hashem, look, I know one day I'm going to be better than I am now. Right? I'm working on it. Hashem, could you please grant me some of what I'm going to be in the future now so I can benefit by it? To get closer to you?
Steal from the future.
Yeah, give me something ahead of time, like we did over here. Give me something ahead of time so I can get closer to you faster. Right? Give me something ahead of me. In other words, I'm going to achieve it anyway. I understand that. But why would why only then? Let me borrow something from what I will be, when I will be. Let me have that now so I can advance now. Amazing, right?
Yeah, there's one thing I want to take issue with, forgive me, Yossi, is that we are working hard on it now. We are doing something. Then they weren't doing anything as being described because they were just slaves. But we're working on making ourselves better, so we are earning it.
Well, they did earn also.
They had three good things going for them.
They did earn. They earned it. They didn't change their names. They didn't change their clothings, right? And they also had emunah in Hashem. They did have emunah, right? Yeah, the Medrash says they used to get every Moshe Rabbeinu said to Paroi, if you're going to work your slaves 7 days a week, right? You're gonna work them to death. It's not gonna work out good. You're not gonna have your slaves. Yeah. So you have to give them a day off. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, Paroi said to him, okay, what day would you like to give them off? Give them off Shabbos. So he said, okay, fine. So the Medrash says we used to sit down in little chaburas. We used to get together, and we had some kind of sefer. We had some kind of thing from Avraham Avinu. That they told us that we were going to be in Egypt, that we're going to go out of Egypt. We had something was written down, and we would be mechazik one another on Shabbos. We would do that. We had our problems, but we still connected to Hashem on some level on Shabbos. Some say that's why we say in the Shmon Esrei on Shabbos, Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelko. Yismach Moshe b'matnas chelko. Moshe Rabbeinu is grateful, he's joyful for his chelik. What is his chelik? That he figured out, he perceived that there's such a thing as Shabbos, and he granted Shabbos to the Jewish people way before there was ever commanded a Shabbos. So Yismach Moshe b'matnas, another idea, something interesting. Okay. All right.
It's interesting that we call El Shiurim Leil Seder.
Leil Seder, right? Yeah, that's the whole thing to make it. No, but Seder. We're trying to bring Seder in our lives. So Hashem gives us the Shalaika Seder, so that way I can bring Seder into my life, because everything's always in upheaval. That's a very good point. Reb Shalom, that was a beautiful point. We call it the Leil HaSeder, right? Because we have so much Shalaika Seder in our lives. Hashem gives us something Shalaika Seder in a positive way. Right. In a positive way.
Well, no, but maybe that's the point, though. Shalom, you're right. It seems like it's bad. I always thought until now Locust Seder is bad news. But it turns out,
The Seder is bad news?
no,
Really?
Locust Seder.
Oh, Locust
But
Seder,
it
yeah.
turns out that, no, it could be used for good.
It could always,
Always-
yeah.
always be used for
Always
good. It might
find
even be
good.
good.
Always
So-
find good in it. Yeah. Okay, v'ayadei zeh nigalu aval afal pichein adayin loy olu ad bechinas hadikna kadisha. We didn't come to that high level, like we said, of the 13 points of the beard, which is part of Ratzon. Deep Zayah stuff. Okay, whatever, it's okay, but here, Shehu bechinas eis Ratzon. We didn't come to that place of eis Ratzon. We didn't come to that place of that Ratzon Hashem. We didn't get to that connection, that high place, ad Shavuos, until we came to Shavuos. In other words, this was Shaloi Keseder. Hashem gave us something, He gave us that push, that we'd be able to go on that trek, to get to Shavuos, right? We need that little push, that pep talk, that little thing to get us to be able to get to Shavuos. So Hashem gives us that, He grants us that every year to get us over that hump. Right, like they call Wednesday's hump day, right? You get over the hump. Hashem gives us the thing to get over the hump, so we can march towards Shavuos. So we can get ad hageula haisa al yedei ha'ara atzuma until the geula, right? Ad hageula haisa al yedei ha'ara atzuma shall kol masha shall kol hamoichin. That was, in other words, it was really the geula till then was something that wasn't in order, but when we came to Maimed HaSinai, when we came to accepting the Torah, then we got to where we're supposed to be. Hainu, Shageula Oisa, Ayidei Bechinas Etzem V'Arba Minei Pedyonos. Right, so we started the lesson, Halacha Hey, that we spoke about that in Shemayim, there are 24 courthouses on high. There are 24 different courthouses, and the tzaddikim know how to make a pidyon. They know how to make a pidyon in each one of the courthouses to get that pass to get out of the courthouse, to get out of there, right? So we don't get locked up, right? Right, to get out of the courthouse. Rak shenismechu kulam ba'ara nifla, right? Ki kol ha-pidyonos v'agulos shehem al yedei amtokas adinim kulam heim al yedei ha'oras ha'moichin kayadua. All of them is through the ha'oras ha'moichin. What's the ha'oras ha'moichin? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us ha'or, He gives us some light in our minds, which is what He gave us, like we got in when we got in Mitzrayim. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us all the time. Sometimes you wake up and you feel something special, right, on that day, right? You feel like, wow, today I feel something, I feel closer to Hashem. I feel something special. That's a horror. Hashem is giving you something, take it, run with it, use it. Don't let it just go. Right, a mitzvah abal yotcha al tatzmichenu. Don't let it become chami. Use it. Don't let it go bad. Use it. V'chol ma shemeirin hamoichin beriba yoiser v'hora hatzuma yoiser nimtokim adinim yoiser. The more ha'ora, the more light you get in your mind, the more clarity you have, the more you can be mamtik the din. You can sweeten judgments, and you can attain pidyonos. You can attain what do you call it? Redemptions from the different courthouses, from the different judgments. V'al kain b'shas yitzias Mitzrayim alpha pi shaloi olu ad bechinas hadikna. We didn't come to that place of Ratzon yet by yitzias Mitzrayim. Shehem ha'pidyon ha'elyon ha'koilo. That's the pidyon ha'elyon ha'koilo. That's the all-inclusive pidyon. That's that VIP pass. But maybe we can understand like that. You have a VIP pass. You can go wherever you want, right? Right? You can go wherever you want. You have the we didn't get that. We were able to. We got something, but we didn't have that pass that can get us through everywhere we can go. We didn't have that. We needed each one. We needed each one of those specific ones. We didn't have that all-exclusive pass to get us through anything.
So there's something that says in here, I don't know if you've touched on it or you're going to, it says, in other words, the redemption came about through 24 types of ransoms, which were all drawn down with an amazing illumination.
Yeah.
All ransoms and redemptions that come through the amelioration of judgment. What are they saying? Did you say something about that?
I was talking about the 24 courthouses, yeah.
You were. Okay, you said courthouse. They don't say courthouses here, that's why.
Judgment, yeah. Well, where does judgment take place, sir? In a courthouse.
It takes place from Hashem.
But it takes place in a courthouse, right?
Okay.
So there are 24 different courthouses up on high.
Yeah.
And we said they're like this, Mordechai. So after we attain what we're supposed to attain, we can get that pass that can get us passed through any ransom, any what do you call it? Any redemption. We can get redeemed. We can get anything with that. But when it came to Mitzrayim, we had to get specific ones to get through the specific courthouses.
So what is a ransom?
I don't know what a ransom is. I say it's
It's a judgment against you.
no.
Ransom sounds like you're.
I don't like the word ransom. We spoke about that. I said that a couple of weeks ago when you were reading the word ransom. I said I don't like that word for pigeon. A pigeon doesn't really translate to ransom, right? A pigeon, you could be paid to something, you could redeem it, right? Is that right, Ellie? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's a ransom is the right translation for the word pigeon.
To get out of jail free card.
Yeah. All right, but anyway, okay. So you understand that? You understand? Okay. Aval nimshachem bara nifla vatzuma ayidei oitzim riba yamoichin. Ad shenisbatel zumas Mitzrayim v'niftu v'nigolu mehem. When you get this great illumination, and you have that great illumination, that can get you mamash out of anything. So really, any troubles that we're going through now in our lives, if we get closer to Hashem, and we try to tap into Hashem's light using His Torah, right? We try to tap into Hashem, talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We can get that ha'ara, we can get that beautiful thing in our minds, and that can get us out of anything that we're in, actually. This can help us right now as well. It's the same idea. Therefore, at that time, chametz is also b'mashu. Let me explain to you like this. If somebody was very, very ill, right? Very, very ill, and the person's finally getting better, right? So they're very careful who the person comes in contact with, right? Because his immune system is down, right? Someone was very, very ill, right? So then they won't let the person go into big crowds, right? Because he may contract something because his immune system is down. Our spiritual immune system was down when we were going out of Mitzrayim. It was really, we were very, very vulnerable. We were very vulnerable, maybe we can use that word, vulnerable. Because we were so vulnerable, the chametz, we said it's chametz actual, but it's also the chametz hamayach, right? We don't want to defile our minds. We want to remember how all those things happened, how Pare came in the middle of the night in his pajamas to Moshe Rabbeinu, right? We want to remember these things, right? Remember that song? Pare came in the middle of the night in his pajamas to Moshe, remember, right? You don't know that, okay, fine. You guys don't know that stuff?
No, you want to get on the table and sing it?
You know this song, yeah?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you know the song, right?
All night in his pajamas.
Right. So you want to keep that in your mind. You want to keep that in your mind. You don't want to start reading the newspaper. You don't want to start reading all other things, thinking about politics, all that. You want to remember what's going on.
So we were so low that we were almost about to even forget that.
We were so low. We were about to go to a place of no return. We were going to get to the 50th shara of impurity. That would be a place that we can't.
We got such a freebie.
We got such a freebie.
That's when I got taken out. So I guess that actually bodes well, because if we think...
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Didn't Hashem tell Avraham Avinu we're going to be in Mitzrayim for 400 years?
Yeah.
Right? 400 years. And we were there for how many years? 210 years, right?
We
So 190 years earlier, right? So then you figured they made a calculation with Yitzchak Avinu, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, very cute. Good. But Lamaisa, Hashem said 400 years, and we went out after 210.
Yeah.
Why?
We were that low.
We were that low. And Mitzrayim was that Kur HaBarzel. What was Mitzrayim known as the Kur HaBarzel? You know what the Kur HaBarzel is? It's a melting pot where they melt steel. You know what the problem is? When you're melting metals, right? Steel, you need the highest heat to melt steel, right? If you want to melt gold, it's not so much. Silver, it's less. Right? Each metal has a different temperature where it'll turn liquid. Correct? Steel it takes the most heat to take steel and to make steel into a liquid. Correct? Mitzrayim is known as the Kur HaBarzel. What's Barzel? Steel, iron, steel. Iron, steel.
That's it. You're remade and you're done.
Right. So once we were in that core of Barzov, we would stay there anymore. We would just become part of it, and then we would have hardened as it.
So there's almost a benefit of being on such a low level.
No.
To get the freebie.
Yeah, let's get lower.
Because when you're playing around level 30, let's say like we are, you're doing some nice things, but you're still pretty messed up, and it's like
No.
anywhere.
Yes. Now it's different. This was before Maimon. This was before Kabbalah Satorah. See, we still have the Torah now. We have the Torah now. We didn't have it then. We didn't have the Torah then, right? We have the Torah now, and we can do things now to get us more points, so to say, right? We can get more credits now because we have the Torah today.
Is it fair to say that we're on a higher level than that generation
We're on a higher level.
today? Yeah.
When they were in
When we
Egypt.
were in Mitzrayim?
Yeah.
We could probably say that. I think we could say
And
that.
they flipped over to a higher level than all of us.
But they came
We
to a
didn't
higher
do that.
level because Hashem was intervened with them and really guided them.
And then we were numbnuts.
No,
enough to
could
fall.
you imagine today if we were in a situation where we would see a Kriyas Yamsov, a splitting of a sea like that, a miracle like that, right?
Well, they say that, but it's not true. It doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
Because after that, I played Tegel. So,
After that,
I understand because the Erev Rabbi, no, but I understand, but Hashem gave us so much. He really had to do these things in order to fix our minds. We were so messed up. He had to do things to show him that you thought these gods were so important. You thought they were so important. So I'm going to show you what all these other gods can't do. Right, all these miracles, right, and the Egyptians kept saying, "Etzber likimi," right? The Egyptians were saying, "Etzber likim," it's God. This is God. We can't do this.
right, he does those things to almost reactivate what we know already.
Yes.
And to say, "Oh, you're right. I am a
To
Yid."
prove it.
And
To prove it.
And so
To prove it to us.
All right. So that we get today. That we get.
He
today.
gives us
We get
proofs
that.
today. If you want to see it, again, it's there. If you choose to accept it, if you choose to accept and to see it, right? It's there, right? You go talk to any soldier that came out of Gaza, right, and they'll tell you all the miracles that they're experiencing on a daily basis, right? Is it true? Did you speak to any of them? And did they tell you they can't understand what's going on there? How all these things, how Hashem is saving?
This visit was harder. This visit was harder. I saw a look that wasn't necessarily like that. I'd heard that a lot often. There's miracles that are happening left and right. You won't believe it. But again, for me, this particular visit had a little bit of that and more of I'm really tired. I'm really tired. They're putting on a big fight, and we need a big miracle.
Yeah, okay, but they realize they need a miracle.
Yeah.
They realize that we need a big miracle. We realize that, right? And they're turning to Hashem. That's what's beautiful about it. They realize it's a miracle. You understand the soul? That's why I say the soul. It's not the government. The government doesn't know that. The government doesn't know that. They don't know that. The soldiers going out there, they see it. Like they say, there's no atheist in a foxhole, right? These guys are mamish in the foxhole. Correct? Right? Worse than a foxhole. Right? They don't even know who they're shooting at. They don't know. They have these guys, they dress like this, they dress like that. They have no idea what they're doing. Right? They need mamish siyata d'shmaya. They need mamish siyata d'shmaya. Okay. Ki oz tzrichin levatel ulevaer hachametz legamri. We have to get rid of the chametz completely. Why? Because again, like we said, if you have, when a person's in a vulnerable state, he has to be very careful. You have to be very careful what you come in contact with. Right? Very careful what you come in contact with. So the same way Hashem says, don't deal with chametz, because chametz is referring to also the chametz hamayach, when the person defiles his mind with all the information that's going to take him away from Hashem. Right? Stay away from those things. Stay away from them. That's the real chametz. We learned that, remember? We learned that's the real chametz. That's the real chametz. Okay, because we're at a great sakana. Okay, so that's Yud Aleph. Let's go to Yud Beis. Now, Yud Beis. So the Rebbe says now, Ki chametz u'matzah hein bechinas teva v'ashkocha. Here's a new concept. Matzah and chametz is an aspect of teva, nature, versus hashkacha, which is Hashem's dominion over the world. Hashem's taking control over the world. Why? Because again, chametz, right? So what is chametz? We said chametz is the chimutz halev, right? And it has in it, it's the festering of the Yetzer Hara and all of that. There's a lot of stuff in chametz, right? What? Teva, right? Teva, right? In other words, it's very, if you ever see, I watch, my wife, when she's making the challah, it's a whole science. The water has to be a certain temperature. She has a met temperature thing. And then the yeast has to proof a certain way. And if it didn't, oh no, this yeast is no good, we got to do it again. Right? Everything has to be exact. Everything. And it has to rise a certain thing. The temperatures have to be, it's very complicated. It's much complicated to make that challah, right? But to make matzah, what are you doing? You take you ever watch them do that? Take a stainless steel bowl, and they throw a little bit of water in there, and they put the flour, they mix it up, and they press it, and they press it, and they throw it out, and they roll it out. That's it. What is it? Flour and water. That's it. No nothing. No science. No nothing. It's what? It's against science, right? Matzah is against science. Okay. Now watch.
Tev is also hashkacha.
Of course, no. It's more hashkacha, but it seems on the surface you don't see the hashkacha. You think it's b'koyach ha'baitzim yodi. I did it. I'm a great baker, right? A person will say like that, right? The person, he's a great baker. Not that, wow, Hashem was behind that.
Why else would you mix dough and water without letting it rise and make bread? It's like so
primitive.
Jewish of you. It's just so. It's almost like I understand why people hate us. It's like, what's wrong with you? Who would do that? Who would even think? Oh, you want to have a ceremony here and there and something, but you're messing with the rules of nature.
Yeah,
Who stops the process It's not the process.
There's no such a bread like that in all the world, right?
Right.
Yeah, the French would look at it and go, well, what are you doing? Oh no! Right there with their breads and their baguettes and all of the things. Okay, but look here. Ki matzah b'chinas hashkacha. Matzah is a revelation of Hashem's hashkacha. The b'chinas, watch this. B'chinas lechem min hashemayim. Matzah is like a lechem min hashemayim. We had the mon, right? K'may shomra b'seinu zal. Uga. The word uga is a funny word, right? Uga. Uga, it's a word that they use for matzah in the Torah. Uga.
That was cake.
Uga. No. Uga is a cake of matzah. It's a cake of matzah. Yeah, uga is a cake of matzah. Shahaitzi Yisrael mitzrayim tamu bahem tamon. That uga, that matzah that they took out of Mitzrayim in their sacks, right? It had the taste of man on it. It tasted like the manna. Whatever I don't know how you translate manna. Man is manna, okay?
But they said they could give it any flavor they wanted.
It did, and that did the same thing. It had that same property to it. Ki ne'efes b'chipozam, because it got baked in a hurry. It got baked in a hurry, right? It got baked in a beli riboy tachbulois lahachmetz uletiyim. Aisa k'mayshaisem belechem chametz. They didn't have time to flavor it, to do this, to do all of that, to put all that stuff in there, right? We'll put some eggs, we'll put some sugar, we'll put some salt, we'll put some all the stuff that they do, right? All the stuff they didn't do that. They didn't do that. So it really had a power of taste to it, right? And so therefore, because it had a power of taste to it, because they didn't add anything else to it, it was like a consideration of mun, where you could make it taste whatever you like it to taste like. Because it had no taste. So if it has no taste, you can imagine any kind of taste you want. Right? If you taste something specific, then it's that. But if it has no taste, so then it could be anything you'd like it to be. Correct? You understand that? Nice concept, right? Ki matzah bechinas bitochen. Because matzah is an aspect of bitochen. Showing your faith in Hashem. Right? What is the difference between emunah and betochen? Emunah is what I believe. Betochen is how I demonstrate what I believe. I demonstrate what I'm believing. Right? I'm demonstrating it. That's betochen. Bashkachasa yizbarach levad beli shum esek umalacha. Really, we could do anything. All of our work all of our work can happen without any asik, without any malacha. Hashem can provide us everything if we really believe it, right? One time the Baal Shem Tov was walking with his chevra in Mezbush. Anyone here was in Mezbush? Right? Downtown, here we're in Mezbush, right? So could you imagine the little shops that they had in Mezbush at one time? Right? Those little houses. I think they're the same houses standing there as stood there when Rabbi Nachman was there. And the Baal Shem was there, 300 years. I think so. But at one time, the Baal Shem Tov was walking with his chevra, and he passed the store, whatever it was, a little shop, and he knocked on the door, and he kept walking. So his students asked him, Rebbe, what did you do? He said, well, I had to make my hishtadlus to make parnasa. I had to do my hishtadlut. So I knocked on the door. I made hishtadlut. You understand? He knocked on the door.
Yeah.
He didn't wait for the guy to answer the door. He didn't make any transaction. He knocked on the door. That was my hishtadlut. Hashem said, I have to do hishtadlut. Okay, so I knocked on the door. He had what he needed. Baruch Hashem. He had what he needed. Right? Belishum esiku malacha k'meishe kosa v'yoifu es habotzek asher haitziyu mimitzrayim ugais matzah kiloi chometz. Right? They took out the dough. Right? Hashem said, you got to go out now. You got to go now. Moshe Rabbeinu said, we got to go right now. Yeah, but wait a minute, but we have the dough. Take the dough with you. Go. So they put it in a little sack. They put it on their backs. Right? They put the dough on their backs, and they went out. The matzah baked on its own, in the bag, on their sack, in the sack on their bag. Isn't it amazing? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Really, guys, could you imagine that? Taking the dough, putting it in a bag, and then walking in the heat. And then you get a cracker. It's amazing. You see, it's mamash hashkocha, right? That we got anything. But it will spoil, but it'll get sour. No, we didn't care. We just took it out, right? We didn't do, right? The dough has to be a certain temperature, right? No, we didn't care. We put it in the bag, on our back, and we went. That's hashkocha, right? That's hashkocha. V'gam seder lo yosalem. We didn't take any provisions with us. Could you imagine that today, right? Right, if you're going out on a trip today for 2 hours, right? You're going a little tiyul, so you have to pack a lunchbox and you have to pack all the stuff and drinks and water and all that stuff, right?
The grill and the coal.
Whatever you need, there's so much. You got to pack a lot of things. Here we're going out of Egypt. We're going into the desert. We didn't take any provisions with us. Nothing. We didn't take anything. No canned goods. Nothing. We didn't take anything with us. No water bottles. Nothing. We just went. That was amazing. No, but that was an amazing thing. That was to our credit that we were able to do that. That we believed. We saw Hashem. How Hashem got us to this point where Egypt. Nobody ever escaped from Egypt. Nobody. That was the real Iron Curtain. You know, the Russians. They still got a couple of people who were able to get out, but no one got out of Egypt. Nobody escaped out of Egypt. Nobody. But here now we're all going out. And they went out in broad daylight. Right? It was broad daylight when they went out. They didn't go out like thieves in the night. Right? It was at night, but until they got together, it was already Aloy Sashaka, right? Till they got together, they started going, right? And that's how the dough started rising and everything worked. You know, they're not right. It baked in their backpacks.
It's just the opposite now.
Right?
Imagine if we had to leave here in a hurry. Wait, I got to get my computer and
I need my phone. It's not charged. Where's my charger? Where's my this? Where's my that? I need this.
Probably die collecting our stuff to take with us because we can't let go of it, and we hoard.
Yeah, amazing, right?
I think like when parents, grandparents, whatever die, and you have to go clean out the house. It's like a major task.
Yeah, amazing.
So it's just the opposite in a sense.
It's the opposite, yeah. Yeah,
exchange homes.
Amazing, yeah. I once heard there was an analogy given where a person he was granted an hour. He won something. He was granted an hour to go through a very fancy department store and take whatever he wanted. They gave him bags. He could take anything he wanted in his department store in an hour. Oh, it came that day. He was planning, and he saw that he went to the store. He planned it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take these things, and he made a calculation, everything. Right? He made all the calculations. What he's going to be able to collect. He'll go to the jewelry department. He'll go here. He'll go here. He had a whole plan. Okay.
Take the cash register.
He came that day. It came that day, and he came into the store, and it was that time the clock went on. He had the hour, right? And then they were making popcorn in the store. It smelled so nice. It smelled so nice. So he said, "Oh, you know what? Let me get it. I have plenty of time. I'll take a little popcorn." Good, okay. And then he went by and he saw, they have waffles and ice cream. Oh, I have a little more time. All right, well, no big deal. I'll enjoy that. And then he came to it playing music. He said, "Oh, this is my favorite Beethoven music." Oh, he sat there. He was listening to the music a little bit. Anyway, to make a long story short, the whole time was over, and he wound up collecting nothing. Right? Because he got so enticed on all these other things that they planned for him. That they want to. That's the Yetzer Hara in our lives, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's the Yetzer Hara in our lives. If we just get so involved in all of these things, we get sidetracked and we forget to get. We
Doesn't
forget.
feel too good, huh?
We forget. No, but wait a minute. But no, we're learning this, so we don't have to deal. We can gain what we need to gain. That's why we're learning this,
I
right?
need to go out and just throw stuff out of my house that I have that I don't need, really.
It has nothing to do with throwing things. I'm just saying you have to use your time in the right way. These guys did the right thing. They used their time. They left in the right. They were quick. They went quick. They didn't care. They all went. They left. Could you imagine that? Really, could you imagine all these people? And they took their animals with them and everything. And they just collected everything and they left. It's mind-boggling. Within a couple of hours, this was like at least 1 million people, right? This was a lot of people, right? And they just all left. It's amazing. And all they had was some dough. And I don't mean money, right? Dough, right?
Well, did the deer have any dough?
Yeah.
$2.
Yeah. The gam seder loy also lahem. They didn't take any provisions. Aval chametz bechinas teva, but chametz is an aspect of teva. Bechinas dinim. It's an aspect of din. It's an aspect of judgment because you have to do everything exact. It has to be exact. Shenimshachim bechinas elikim shu begematria teva. We know elikim, right? The gematria of elikim is the same gematria as teva, right? Teva, right? Is the same. Is this what? Yeah. It's the same gematria. Kamuva. We all know that. Shemisham kol taivas mammon. That's where all the taiva of mammon comes from. The desire, the lust for money, right? The lust for money. People can have millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they just need more, and they need more, and they just chase after more and more and more and more. What are you going to do with it? Right? What are you going to do with it? Right? But it's a taiva of mammon. B'chinas mikaf me'avel v'choymetz. Right? David HaMelech says, Shebayim lidei gezeilois al yedei riboy taivas mammon. People come to steal, chas v'shalom. Right? They come to steal. They just need it so bad. They have such a desire, so they steal things. You're right, Baruch?
I have to go daven.
Okay, go daven. Shua yedei b'chinas kefirois sha'imrim koichi v'oitzim yodi osali es ha'chayil hazeh. People will say that they're so crafty, so smart, so clever, and that's how I was able to make this amount of money. That's how I have what I have, because I'm so smart and I was able to outsmart this guy. I was able to outsmart and I got this deal and I got that deal. They believe it's what they believe they are doing it themselves, but they don't realize it's Hashem that's granting it to them, right? Machmitzin hamoya kol yemeim, and they make their minds chametzdik. They defile their minds with all of this nonsense, right? In their minds, all their lives, they use their whole life. Eich lahasig momon ayedei ezeh siba uvitachbula ki'ilu haya b'koichan lazeh. What strategy can I do? What can I do? How can I do it to get what I need? We're not talking about people that need the money to live. to do things. We're talking about people that have a nice, comfortable living, a nice, comfortable balance in their bank account, but they just need more. They need more. For what? What are they going to do with it? Right?
That's why most people don't make Aliyah, because they're afraid that
Oh, you see that? Wow, Rav Simcha say, you hear that, everybody? Wow, that's why they're not making Aliyah. Let's see. Explain that, Rav Simcha, please. They don't
they
make...
got a big house and a big car, and they're worried to come here in Israel.
So they have to get a smaller apartment because the apartments in Israel now are much more expensive than almost any house in America today, right? You go buy anything in Jerusalem today, right? Right. Amazing. Mamash, it's amazing.
There's another thing, because I experienced it myself.
I couldn't believe it, really. They told me right now, when I bought an apartment in Jerusalem, it was 32,000 shekel a square meter. This was a few years ago. Today, you can't touch anything in Jerusalem for 32. Today in Jerusalem, if you buy anything for a square meter, it's 100,000 shekel. Wow. A square meter. 100,000 shekel. Yeah. You won't get a square meter for under 100,000 shekel. Unbelievable, mamish. Unbelievable.
So the Yetzer Hara, what it did to me was I felt like I was, like one of those rats on a spinning wheel. You're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
But I was like on that. I mean, it was like, I felt like I was on that. I just kept going, no reason. It's almost like a fly trying to get in.
It's a hamster on his wheel.
Yeah.
A hamster on the
it's almost like a fly trying to get into the window, and he doesn't even know there's a window there. It's like just keeps banging his head against the wall.
Right, until we learn.
Until we learn. It's just...
But it's really the opposite. It's really mamish the opposite. Ki loy matzah umariv ki alikim shoifet. It's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The hatzlacha of anything that happens is not coming because you went here, you went there, you did this, you did that. It happens because it's from Hashem. Hashem granted it to you on Rosh Hashanah. Right? We get our allotment for whatever we're going to have on Rosh Hashanah, and then actually it's very interesting that really Rabbi Nachman brings that it's really the night of the night of Shmini Atzeres when we finish saying Hashem Elokeichem Emes in Shema. Then we say Ve'amuna. Right, we say Ve'amuna Kozai, right? So when we say the Amuna, that's where HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us our parnasa. He grants us our parnasa for the whole year, right then and there. It was granted to us, but it gets put into our. We get the avarat kesef. We get the transfer goes on then. That's when the transfer happens. It's amazing. Yeah, Rebbe. Okay, ve'ikar achizas hateva. We know that the whole thing of chametz comes from din. It's all din. It's all judgment. It's all because we just get stuck in all the things, and we believe that, I listen to my financial advisor, and this guy tells me I need so much insurance, and you need to have this amount of insurance, you need that, Unbelievable. And that's where Avodah Zarah comes. They say that people worship the dollar, right? They say that. They usually use that word today, right? This guy, They worship the mighty dollar, right? The almighty dollar.
Almighty dollar, yeah.
Yeah, a piece of paper, right? It's backed by nothing, right? Yeah.
In God we trust.
Yeah. Yeah, but they think that's an avodah zarah. They think that's the God.
Yeah.
That's the God. Yeah. Aval kishemamtikin adinim b'shleibes hayidei pidyon ha'elyon ha'koilo. But then when we can't get the shvuas, right? When we get the shvuas, and shvuas means when we get to any time in our lives and we take the Torah seriously. Right, we take the laws of the Shulchan Aruch, the Torah seriously. We get to that pidyon ha'koilo. That special VIP card, right? We get that special card, Nahapech Midas Hadin L'Rachma. Then we can take all of the din and we can transform it into mercy. We're begging Hashem, we want His mercy. We need Hashem's mercy. V'oz nichla teva bashkocha. And then teva, we realize that teva, all of the work that we do to prepare the bread and all of the work that we do, everything, right? All of that science and everything, we realize it's really hashkacha. Yes, I'm doing these things. I'm preparing it. I'm doing it. But I realize it's really hashgacha. I realize it's all me'es Hashem. Midas hadin l'rachmim v'oz nichla teva b'hashgacha v'chinas Hashem hu Elokim. Right? When do we say Hashem hu Elokim? On Yom Kippur, right? We say Hashem hu Elokim. When do we say that? By Ne'ilah. We don't say that before Ne'ilah, right? At the end of Ne'ilah, after the whole avoda, after everything we did, and we're so pure, we purified ourselves, we worked so hard, we could say Hashem hu Elokim. Yud Kei Vav Kei, you are Elokim. I know it's you, Hashem. I know it's you. I know all the din is really you, but it's really Rachamim. I know it's really Chesed. We could say it then, and then we could believe it. Because we don't want to, you can't say it other times because you don't, it's hard to believe. But at that time we're so pure, our mind is so straight. We worked on it so long, the whole Elul, and we worked on, then we could say Hashem hu Elokim. Right? Ki zoichin lemuna shlema shegam hanhogas hateva hu rak b'hashgachosa yizbarach rak she'ein anu mevinim d'rachav yizbarach. We understand, but we don't know the ways of Hashem. Like we keep saying, we don't know the ways of Hashem, right? The tachlis hayadiyah shaloi neda, we said, right? Tachlis hayadiyah is I don't know. I don't know the way Hashem, but I believe what Hashem is doing, He's doing for our ultimate good. That's the point. I believe whatever Hashem does in my life and He does in the world, He's doing for our ultimate good. And therefore, someone that goes and does business, right? He goes in business, no matter what it is. The guy could be a professional, he could be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, it doesn't matter what he is, right? He could be a businessman, right? And he goes and he makes business and he makes investments and he makes his money. It's really by Hashgacha. He made his money not because, it was a good idea, this profession, the guys made good money, right? I'm going to go into this profession, I'll make good money. No, you only went into that profession because Hashem had it in Hashgacha that you were supposed to go into that profession because you were supposed to have more money to be tested. What are you going to do with your money? It's really all Hashgacha. You understand? That's the point. You want to say something else?
No.
Kasher anu royim shaharbe torchin miyagin atzman b'yigiyas atzumas u'ma'uma lo yisu ba'amolam. We see so many people, they work so hard, and they're working day and night, and then they make the wrong investment, and the next thing they have nothing. Right? Overnight, they lose everything. Right? There are those that make money overnight too, right? Right? But the people had no money at all, and they invested in something, and then overnight they became very wealthy. But how many invested? This deal is going to be the deal, and they sink everything into it, and they pull the rug right on that. They have nothing, right? They lose their money. They lose their money. They think they were going to make so good. They think they're so clever. They lose their money. Says you could see and sense all the time. We all know people like that. We all know situations like that. Al kain sarach kol adam lahamin shekola parnasa v'amama nimshach laadam rak b'hashgachosa yizbarach levad. We have to know and believe that all of our parnasa, all of our sustenance, all of the money that we have, anything that we have comes from Hashem. And it's only what Hashem wants us to have. So why should we drive ourselves crazy? Why should we drive ourselves crazy? We're only going to have what we're supposed to have anyway. So we can, whatever we were granted on Rosh Hashanah is all we're going to have. How many times did you get more money and then you get this bill in the mail? They go, oh no, I didn't know I was going to have to pay. Oh, there it goes. Right? You ever happened that? Ever happened to you? Right?
Big time.
Right? Or sometimes the other way around. Right? You get a check in the mail. Go, wow! I didn't know I was going to get this check. Right? It happens sometimes. Right?
That also happened big time.
Right? It happens. Right? These things
That's
happen. But it's all from Hashem's plans.
I know, and I learned from him.
Yeah. Umat tzrichin eize eisek hu midarkei nifloisav yizbarach she'ef shelahaven. That we have to do for our work, and we have to do, and no matter how we earn things and everything. That's some Hashem's wondrous things. We don't have to get involved in that. It's not us. It's not for us to figure out. We don't have to figure it out. We just have to trust in Hashem, that Hashem knows exactly what He's doing, and He gives us exactly what we need. The same way when we went out of Mitzrayim, right, and we took that bag on our back, right? We took that bag with the dough on the back, right? And then it came into like the mun. It had any taste we wanted. It gave us everything we needed. Everything. That's how Hashem is with us all the time. So we'll stop over here today because it's getting late now. Okay, and we'll pick it up. Could you please mark where we are in your books now so we don't have a problem tomorrow? All right, so we'll know where we are so we don't, right? Shkoyach to everyone here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Does anyone have any comments that they want to talk about before, or we're good?
Well, not only, you shut it off, right?
Huh?
You shut it off?